I'm Dan Gable with Shore Murphy and Associates of Casey, and this is another episode of Big Agent in a Small Town. Small business owners are having to constantly review and assess the costs and expenses of their business, and it's no different when it comes to insurance for small business owners as well too. And so today I want to talk about cyber insurance for small businesses and whether it's worth it for a small business to have a cyber insurance policy. So what we need to do is to analyze kind of the main coverages of a cyber insurance policy and whether any of those would apply to your small business. So the first part of a cyber insurance policy is third-party liability. So the first thing you need to assess as a small business, do you have or store any kind of confidential data or information and that could be susceptible to a hacker stealing? So you look at that. So some small businesses may, some might not. Let's say you're a small construction company. You might not feel like you have much as far as that kind of information stored in your computer systems or anything like that. But the next step is, do any of your customers have personal or confidential information? So let's say you're that small construction company where you don't have much in the way of confidential information stored, but you may do remodeling projects for or accounting offices or doctor's offices that would have lots of financial or medical information. And that still leaves you susceptible from a network information liability perspective. If someone hacked into your system and used that to gain access to your customer's computer system and stole all personal or confidential information. So those are two important things you need to look at. And then in the next one, and probably the biggest thing, is what's called social engineering. So this can look a few different ways. One, you may have a hacker that sends an email that looks like it has come from an owner or an executive in a company requesting that a payment needs to be processed right away and gives wire transfer instructions, those kind of things. Or it may be a fraudulent invoice that's received by email that looks legitimate and is paid. These are the most common kinds of social engineering claims when it comes to cyber insurance. Another thing similar to that is what's called invoice manipulation. So let's say that you're a business that does large projects and may have large invoices that go out to clients. A hacker could send an invoice that looks like it came from you to one of your clients, email it with those wire instructions, and your client accidentally pays that fraudulent invoice. Invoice manipulation coverage can cover that as well too. The last thing to consider is ransomware. Or does your business rely on any kind of computer systems that, if they were down for any significant time, could impact your business? If the answer is yes, then ransomware is going to be an important coverage as well too. That's where you will receive a demand from a cyber hacker, or that will say, if you don't pay this amount before this time, we're going to crash your computer system. So these are all important factors to look at. It would say that for almost any small business, at least one of these risks is going to apply to you. That's why I think it's worth it to have a cyber insurance policy, especially when you consider what the cost is. So if you're a small business that's anywhere between, let's say, 500,000 and 5 million in sales, well, depending on the exact sales amount and your kind of business, your cyber insurance policy is going to be anywhere from $800 to $900 a year to probably $2,500 to $3,000 a year on the higher end. So it is something that is relatively affordable for the coverage that it does afford your small business. So if you have any questions or would like to see how much a cyber insurance policy would cost for your business, please reach out to me by phone or text at 217-932-2267 or by email to Dan, D-A-N, at shoremurphycasey, SHOREMURPHYCASEY.com. Thank you.